Welcome to Module 10, where we will begin work on a problem-to-solution paper based on your identified problem of practice. This paper will be submitted in Module 14, so we will spend the next 4 modules building the paper by following the writing process discussed in this course. Problem-to-solution papers are common in academic writing. So exactly what is a problem-to-solution paper? Well, it is very much like what its name describes. You will be organizing your writing around a common academic organizing approach of problems and solutions. As we touched on briefly in a previous module, the basic organizational design of a problem-to-solution paper is a description of the situation or background, an identification of the problem, a description of one or more solutions, and an evaluation of the recommended solution. This structure is an effective way to organize an argument. Consider the audience for your problem-to-solution paper to be educated readers, but not completely knowledgeable readers. You will want to provide content that will fill in any gaps in a reader's knowledge of the problem. For example, although I am an educated reader, I will not be knowledgeable about each of my students' identified problem of practice. I obviously am an intended reader of your paper, although there may be other more knowledgeable readers if you use the paper as the basis of a future submission to a journal or conference. I would like you to include at least 2 possible solutions to your identified problem of practice, but no more than 4. This will give you practice at presenting problems and then evaluating one over the other or others. This also sets up the proposed solution to be well received by the reader, since you have argued against another one or more effectively. The problem-to-solution movement can prove useful later on in your academic and professional life for the writing of critiques or research paper introductions. This module will build on the work you are doing in your other courses with regard to researching a problem of practice. You should have some research already conducted as a result of your work in those courses, as well as articles located in Module 3 for the critical reading assignment. You should expect to continue to search the library database, consult with the education librarian, and read critically about the problem of practice throughout the remainder of this course as you plan and write a paper organized around the strategy of problems and solutions. You will begin sharing your ideas about the paper with your peers on a discussion forum later in this module. At this early stage, you might want to record some ideas into your phone or other device in order to clarify your thinking about how you might want to position yourself or take a stand on this identified problem. You should also engage in critical reading of the research materials you are consulting. As discussed in Module 4, critical reading is active reading, reading with a pen in hand, asking questions of a text, and highlighting key terms and ideas within it. Moving from pre-writing to drafting can be daunting. A useful tool during the drafting process is to consider the origin and destination of the paper. Origin refers to what you can safely assume that the reader knows about your topic. This is really about understanding your audience. Destination refers to the main claim of your paper, which is really about understanding the purpose. You will be sharing your origin and destination in a discussion forum for feedback from your peers. It is useful to repeat this. The 2 principal guiding questions to keep in mind as you draft your problem-to-solution paper are 1. How to make clear to the reader why the problem is in fact a problem. This requires understanding audience knowledge of problem, and a clear understanding of the problem itself. And 2, how the solution is indeed an appropriate solution. That again is the purpose of the paper. How you set up the argument, present evidence, and evaluate and interpret the evidence will be the remaining questions you must address as you draft your paper. Let's take a look at this example of the organization of a very simple problem-to-solution paper. The opinion that clear communication is needed in the field of education is not a controversial one, so the writer has established common ground with the reader. There is inherent value in having the reader on your side at the very beginning of a paper in which you will be making an argument. Support and examples might be given here about the different ways in which educators need to communicate effectively to a variety of constituents and in diverse settings. The problem that writing is difficult and many lack necessary experience in the craft needs to be corroborated with references to other published papers on the topic. An explanation of the causes of the writing challenges would be appropriate here as well. Under the solution area, specific details about what kind of writing instruction would help. Again, concrete data analysis would need to be used here. In the evaluation part of the paper, perhaps there is data on the relationship between writing and publishing and career advancement and significant policy achievement. This is just a simplistic example of a problem-to-solution organizing principle. Later in the module, you will submit a basic problem-to-solution organization of your problem of practice, really just a line for each area as shown here, and I'll give you some feedback by the next module. Throughout this course, you have periodically written in a private journal. I hope you've found me to be responsive to the ideas and/or questions you have shared there with me. In this module, I'd love to hear about any concerns you may have about beginning this final writing assignment and how I might be of help. If you don't have any concerns or questions, please just write to me about your thoughts up to this point about the course and any questions you may have about any of our work to date. As always, I look forward to reading your work.